Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown, Dunkirk, and Westfield, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County.
The Chautauqua Center.
Are you looking for affordable medical, dental, or counseling services? The Chautauqua Center is always accepting new patients at their Jamestown and Dunkirk locations. They offer discounted prescriptions and accept all insurances. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey everybody, good morning. I'm Doc Hamels and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. Hey, happy May as well. Wow, here we are. It doesn't seem possible. Life has been a blur, hasn't it? Someone says they don't know what day it is, let alone what month it is. It's like, wow. And I'm happy to report that my jeans did fit this morning when I got up and my sport coat still can button. So far, so good. So many jokes about all that, isn't there? Well, we're doing the best we can, all things considered. All right. Want to say, first of all, good morning to the world. As you know, we stream live anywhere in the world. So if you're watching, always glad to see little notes. A lot of you are leaving little notes saying hi and things like that. So good morning, and please drop us a note. Love to put your pin on our map. We're going to be hearing from Boston, Massachusetts area later today. I know people in Europe have watched the show, down into Burma, India, Philippines, all over the place, and of course across the United States. We continue to do programming here in a safe, social distanced way, and I know the guys here are making everything hygienic and disinfecting things, so we're going to continue on just as long as we possibly can, and I don't see any reason why we can't continue. So good morning to the world. Good afternoon to all of our listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown. Thanks for joining us Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. Glad you could tune in. We've got a great show. We got lots of information. I got all kinds of lovely ladies that are going to be calling in, and I've got Rick Mascaro. Yeah. So we had to have the yin and the yang in life here. We have the balance. If you do have a question or a comment, of course, you could always call us live at 716-753-5225. You can email us, you can text us, you can go to our Facebook page, leave a note, whatever. So it's gonna be an interesting show. And we have lots to share with you. We got some folks calling in a little bit, and then we got another person calling in later on, and we have Rick Mascaro. my running joke for the day, Rick. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
That's all right. It's all right. I don't know how it is at your house, but spring is continuing no matter what, even though it still feels like late winter. Goldfinches, rufous-sided towhee, and the rose-breasted grosbeaks have showed up in my house. So it's pretty exciting. I've kept track of the birds for many, many years, and they always come within a couple days of the year before, so it's pretty cool.
That sounds like a Chinese haiku book.
Haiku book.
The
rufous-sided towhee.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry, I just.
We digress.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get right into some announcements today. But I do want to remind you, if you do have anniversary or birthday, something special, I'd say call in for your event, but it seems like everything everywhere has been canceled. But if you do happen to have an event or you want to make a special recognition or something that's going on in the community, do call in. Please don't hesitate. Again, 716-753-5225. Okay, let's start out with slide 15, Jeff. And this is called PAX Tools Webinar. So everybody and their cousin is going on Zoom or some type of webinar. And this is being provided, don't laugh, provided by Prevention Works. And their tools, it's a collection of evidence-based trauma-informed strategies to improve cooperation and self-regulation with youth. In other words, they got kids at home and they need help. The webinar will focus on the science of each strategy and how to use each technique in your home with your children. You know, in all seriousness, you know, a lot of parents are with their kids, 24/7 now, and that's a little unusual. You know, we always look forward when school starts, and then we kind of like, oh my God, school's ending and the kids are going to be home, and what do we do now? But this is obviously pretty stressful. So check it out. There's all the information. You got 4 options: May 6th, the 12th, the 18th, the 27th, and I'm always looking for the phone number. Let's see here. Oh, here's the phone number. If you want, give Kathleen Colby a call at 664-3608, 664-3608. So there's a bunch of things going on there, and check it out. Also, they're offering virtual parenting classes, online virtual classes called The First 5 Years. Dates coming up in July 1, 8, 15, and 22. They have an active parenting class for ages 5 through 12, May 6th from 12 to 2. And then the active parenting of teens. Could have used that. Wednesday, May 13, 20, 27, and all the way through June. And that's going to be from 12 to 2 p.m. And these are all online, folks, so you don't even have to leave your house. You can lounge around in your pajamas, whatever. Again, the number there is 664-3608. I do encourage you to at least try one out and see how it goes. One little hint from somebody that's been in your shoes might make your day a little better. Okay, let's see, page 1, page 2. Hang on a second, I go back to page 1 here. Here's a little thing to consider about how to deal with stress, speaking of kids at home. It says, ways to cope with stress. I should have music playing right now. Take care of your body. Stay out of the kitchen. Take deep breaths, stretch or meditate. I try to take lots of walks with Brody out in the woods. Eat healthy, well-balanced meals. Exercise regularly. Get plenty of sleep. Avoid alcohol and other drugs. Remember, we're avoiding stress here.
Man, I screwed up.
You messed up, Rick. Make time to unwind. Make time for activities you enjoy. Connect with others. Talk with people you trust about your concerns and how you're feeling. All right, and we've had some public service announcements on this about dealing with stress during this pandemic. And we were just talking before the show. This thing came out as fast. So lots of us are still reeling and trying to get our center of balance. So if you're feeling stressful, think about that you are stressed and maybe you can do something about it. All right, switching gears totally. City of Jamestown, I'm talking about my hometown here. City of Jamestown, the Jamestown Board of Public Utilities announced a plan to open the yard waste collection site in response to citizen requests. Your voices were heard. The site will be manned by the City Department of Public Works, Employees will be open from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Mondays through Friday from May 4th through May 15th. Residents will be asked to come to the site on their normal garbage pickup day to prevent overcrowding of the site. As a reminder, the yard waste site is available to city residents and BPU residential solid waste customers only. No contractors or out-of-city residents, Rick, will be allowed to enter the site. Okay, so
What am I
that...
gonna do with that old stereo? I've been trying to get rid of it. For
No, you
years.
can't get rid of that stereo. All right. Oh, let's see what else we got here. June 3rd is going to be a Hope and Healing Conference of Western New York. It's due to the recent COVID-19 spread and social distancing guidelines. The conference will be held on the 4th of June. The event will be a one-day virtual conference from the comfort of your home. See, everybody's doing this. Get your computers upgraded. The conference will address complex needs in mental health, chemical dependency, and wellness, while celebrating the success in Chautauqua County in our region. Stay tuned for an updated list of virtual conference highlights. All right, if you're interested or have questions, you contact Annie Rosenthal at county.chautauqua.newyork.us. The event is hosted by Hope Chautauqua, Prevention Works, Chautauqua Department of Mental Hygiene, SUNY Fredonia, Chautauqua County Health Department, the Chautauqua Tapestry, and the Community Alliance for Suicide Prevention. Sadly, from what I'm told, domestic violence is up right now, and overdose. Stress. It's going to be okay. Just hang in there and reach out, and if you know someone, reach out for them. Let's take care of each other. All right, on a lighter side, even though this is a ways away, this is one of those mark your calendars. So hopefully we'll get there. Despite the COVID-19, the Chautauqua Center is still planning their 7th annual Family Fun Days to take place this summer. We will return to our popular format of hosting 2 events, one in Dunkirk and on Wednesday, August 12th, and one in Jamestown on Thursday, August 13th. So that's coming up. So we'll talk about that again. And then my final announcement I want to make, and this would be slide, whatever it is, 16 or 17, Jeff. All right. I made a commitment. We're going to talk about this every single week as long as this continues. Places like the Salvation Army, your food pantries and so forth, they've got food. You should not go without food no matter what. In this particular case, the Salvation Army wants you to know to decrease contact and better protect all of us during the COVID-19 crisis, the food pantry will deliver to your home only. This is how you order food, through the Dunkirk Salvation Army, and I believe it's the same way at the Jamestown site. You call in those numbers, 366-3701 for Dunkirk, or 664-4108. Their receptionist will sign you up with an approximate appointment time for the same day. They have volunteer drivers delivering at a variety of times throughout the day. Your appointment time will depend upon the next available slot, as well as food supply and food packing. Please be patient. Do not make contact with the driver. No hugs, nothing like that. The driver will drop off food to your doorstep and ring your doorbell or knock. Again, in Jamestown, 664-4108. In Dunkirk, 366-3701. And now, we've got a special guest online, and we've got Tori Eargang from the Chautauqua Regional Community Foundation. Good morning, Tori.
Good morning, Doc. How are you?
Well, I'm okay. How are you? How are you? Are you there? Tori? Randall. Okay, so Tori, we lost Tori, but we'll get her back.
Hi, John. Hi, Doc.
All right, who am I talking to now? Is this Diane?
This is Diane. Yep.
All right, Tori was there. Somebody lost her. We won't mention Randy's name. And but Diane Hannum is from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation and have a very important message that she wants to share with all of you right now. And Tori will be back. Okay, Diane, go for it. We've got your slide and everything.
Okay. I'm wondering what slide you have up first.
Okay, I don't know. We'll pop something up here. Well, go ahead and tell us why you're calling in.
I will certainly do that. So this is Diane Hannum, and I'm from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation, and I'm here to tell you about the Chautauqua Response Fund for COVID-19.
Okay.
So a group of foundations, we're working together. We raised some money from countywide foundations, from individuals, and we're working hard to get that money out to those most in need.
Okay, right now we have your slide showing the amount of money raised and how much you've already dispersed. Okay.
Okay, fantastic. So our goal is to raise $1 million, and you can see we're getting close to that. Next week we'll be reaching out to individuals, to families, to build that fund. I'm really confident that the community is going to step forward, and we're going to raise that $1 million. So.
Well, you're awfully close. That's great.
We are. It's been fantastic. All of the foundations in Chautauqua County have come together to start building the fund, and then we've had a lot of businesses as well.
Great. Okay, and so what's the fund going to be used for exactly?
Well, right now, if you have the same screen up, we've been focusing on emergency and basic needs, child care support, and then PPE, which we've all come to know is personal protection equipment. And that's the masks to protect mostly individuals and nonprofits working in the soup kitchens and having one-on-one or direct contact with the people they work with.
Super. Now, it looks like you guys have been working in together?
Yes, most definitely. The two community foundations, so Chautauqua Region and Northern Chautauqua, and the two United Ways, we're meeting, gosh, Doc, we're meeting sometimes 5 days a week, sometimes 2 times a day.
Wow.
Through Zoom, so we're getting to know each other well. As applications come in, we spend a lot of time with them, encouraging agencies to partner, seeing where we can find efficiencies so we can put those dollars to the best use.
Okay, now Diane, people that are watching or listening, they might say, well, how do I know if I'm eligible and how do I apply?
Okay, that's a great question. So grant applications are available at chautauquagrants.org. So you can't get much simpler than that, chautauquagrants.org.
Got it.
And funding is available to nonprofits.
Okay.
And again, we're focusing right now in what we're calling phase 1 on those really working on the front lines.
All right.
Right now, we're talking about moving into what we're going to call phase 2, which is the recovery. And all agencies and individuals are welcome to call any of us, the community foundations, the United Ways. You need some direction, you have questions about applying or what we're looking for, we welcome those calls.
Diane, what would be a good number in the North County?
That would be 366-4892.
Okay. Terrific. All right. I know Tori was on the other line. I'm assuming she's back online. So anything else you want to say?
No, just thank you to the community. We live in such a fantastic community, and
Absolutely.
I don't have to tell you that. But everybody's really coming together, and we're going to get through this.
Absolutely. And Diane, on behalf of everyone that's watching and listening, thank you to you folks for having the vision to collect monies to help those on the front line, those that are in need to get through this, because I'm sure this is going to be very impactful. So thank you to all of you.
Well, that's what we're here to do, and we're really honored to be in that role.
Excellent. All right, we're going to say bye to you, and let's see if we can get Tori
Okay.
on the line and see what she has to say, okay?
Thanks so much.
Thanks for calling in, Diane.
Bye-bye.
Take care. All right. Do we have Tori on the line?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Tori, we lost you. We're sorry. We just got done with Diane Hannum from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. And Tori, go ahead. Why don't you introduce yourself and your titles, just like Diane did, and I'll let you go for it.
Okay, so I'm Tori Ergang, and I'm the Executive Director for the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation. And Diane Hannum and I, in the last about 7 weeks, have pretty much been attached at the hip.
Wow. She said that. You've been meeting regularly by Zoom.
Yeah, I see Diane just as much as I see my family someday.
Well, good. So Diane posted a photo of the target areas that you folks are focusing on. Maybe, Jeff, we can pop that up one more time. And why don't you speak to your area and what you'd like to share, Tori?
Well, and I apologize. I could not hear what Diane was saying, so I don't want to be repetitive, but I hope, excuse me, she's updated the group that we've raised $887,915.
Mm-hmm.
And we've made, I think, 16 grants. About $218,000 has been granted out.
Okay, great. And this is for not-for-profits, right?
These for nonprofits, and what we've been focused on initially was those on the front lines of COVID-19 response.
Excellent.
So those really supporting vulnerable families, older adults. I heard you talking about the Salvation Army and encouraging people not to go without food.
Right.
So some of the grants we've made have really supported the food bank, which is now called Feed More Western New York.
Oh, great.
That organization pushes food out to about 49 member pantries that are countywide in every community, a lot of church-based ministries. And so we just want to make sure you're absolutely right that we don't want folks to be hungry. We don't want folks to be without something that they need. And a great resource is to call 211.
Okay.
If you're not sure who you should call or what resources are out there, whether it's food or cleaning supplies or even just up-to-date, accurate information about what's going on in the community, it's always better to call 211 than it is to call, an emergency number.
Okay, so for those that are listening that have never done this before, 211 was established as a one-stop portal that you can call where these kinds of personal emergencies, but not medical emergencies, and it'll direct you to a variety of resources, correct?
Absolutely. And right now, the folks that are answering those lines, they can help kind of do even extra navigation and extra intake. So it's a great resource, and it's free. It's available from absolutely any kind of telephone you can dial, whether it's a cell phone, a landline, a prepaid cell phone, doesn't matter.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That you're really adding to what Diane had said. Tori, what's a good number in case somebody wanted more information about these grants at your location?
So it's tricky right now. They can contact the Community Foundation at 661-3390.
Okay.
But right now, our office is, everyone is working away from the office, so they would leave a message, and we check those messages constantly, and then we call them back. We don't have the kind of phone system that allows you to forward it, so we're doing it that way. But they can also email the Community Foundation and get an immediate response.
Okay. And you always can Google the community foundations. They all pop up. All the information's right there as well, right?
Absolutely. So we're just want to encourage people to don't lose focus, don't lose hope. There's so much good that we're seeing, so many ways neighbors are helping neighbors, and church congregations are helping one another, and small communities are showing support to first responders. It's just really inspiring.
Okay. Now, before I let you go, because we got to keep moving here. If someone wants to donate, they can just call those your number or Diane's number as well.
They can, or they can visit either of our websites, and they'll be directed to an easy way to give online.
Excellent. All right. Well, we wish you best of luck getting that $1 million and maybe even more. And thanks so much for all you're doing. These are really very crucial areas that you're supporting. And on behalf of all the viewers and listeners right now, well done, and thanks for having our back, Tori.
Well, thanks for letting us talk with you, and it's our pleasure to work in this community.
You call in anytime, either one of you, okay?
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye now. Thank you. Well, folks, our Chautauqua County, as always, is banding together. It takes a little time to get organized, but I know just from my own context that they've been working on this COVID project, emergency response fund for some time now, and it's almost $1 million. So if you got a few extra bucks and you want to donate, do it. Let's help each other and pay it forward. All right, so I think that's all I have to say on that. So thank you, Diane and Tori, for calling in. Now we're going to go to my guest who's been patiently waiting in the wings here and throwing comments out as I've been talking. No, that was it, Jeff. Thank you. All right.
I wanted to
What?
say
I got to introduce you.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right. I've been trying to be quiet. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead, Doc.
My very good friend, and I don't say that lightly, we are friends. Rick Mascaro, who's the executive director, I call you executive, I guess you are executive director, of Lakeshore Center for the Arts, and fellow actor and musician. Ta-da!
That's
Rick.
it. That's good. I wanted to say to Diane Hannum when she was on the phone, their organization is fabulous, and if you do have money to help out the community, you can't find a better group, and Tori's group, but I've worked personally with Diane. The Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation has done so much for our organization that before I even start any of what I want to say, we wouldn't be in existence were it not for her organization.
Absolutely.
She's a wonderful lady, and they have a wonderful organization. So thank you, Diane, wherever you are. And Lori. I don't know you, Tori, but thank you, Tori, too.
Okay.
So
Rick, you talked about the community, the foundation supporting you, and if I'm not mistaken, what we're going to talk about today, they supported this project.
This is basically funded by Diane's group.
Right.
Yes, we got a nice grant from them in order to do what we're doing with this project that we're going to be talking about today.
So why don't we talk about it?
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
All right, we've got our third caller today. We got Jackie Phillips calling from the Boston, Massachusetts area.
I know her.
Good morning, Jackie.
Hey, y'all.
Can you hear us all right?
I sure can. I miss you guys.
Well, we miss you too. Let's pop her picture up whenever she's talking.
Pop
there,
her
Jeff.
picture up.
Yeah, it's a great picture.
Make sure you got
It's
the
a
right
gorgeous-
picture, though.
It's an absolutely gorgeous day in Boston, and absolutely nobody is out on the streets.
Well, it's pretty nice here. I'm not sure if it warmed up or not, but anyways. All right, so we got Jackie Phillips is online, and whenever she's talking, we're going to pop her picture up and her title. So let's do. Oh, there it is.
There she is.
All right. So Jackie, you got a great photo that's popping up. Are you watching us streaming by any chance?
I am.
Oh, cool. All right. I think there's a little bit of a delay. So whatever Rick
There is,
says,
yeah.
we can.
That's
bleep it.
her theater picture. That's on the outside of our theater,
Right.
too.
So, Jackie, you're the director of the Education and the Innovation Studio. So, who's going to talk about this new project?
Rick is my fearless leader, so I'm going to let him get started, and
Okay.
I'll chime in.
All right. So, I'm going to sit back and just let you two have a conversation. I'll throw a question now and then.
All
okay?
right.
So, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, Rick.
Well, first of all, Jackie wears many hats in our organization. The first one she wore was being with the Peter Brand Foundation, which was our initial funding. We got a humongous grant from them that we originally opened with, and she has since become a member of our organization as Director of Education and in developing what we're going to be talking about today, which is our Innovation Studio. So thank you, Jackie.
Yay! I
Yay!
miss everyone there.
Yay!
We're on a little bit of a pause, but we're still working behind the scenes to expand the offerings at Lakeshore Center for the Arts. We've got some exciting news.
Okay. So, what is this innovation project?
Aha! I do have some slides as well. I don't know if
We
you're
have 'em.
prepared
We're
to put
ready.
them up
We
there.
have 'em.
Great. Okay. The Innovation Studio is sort of a logical expansion by Lakeshore Center for the Arts. It remains primarily a theater arts group, but we are busily working on a communal studio space which will promote excellence in digital art. And initially, we're going to emphasize 3 areas in the digital arts: videography, photography, and graphic arts, meaning publishing, illustration, animation, and web design. Do you guys have slides?
Okay.
Or?
We're gonna
Okay,
pop
great.
up the slides now. Here we go.
All right, great. And you might be wondering who really would make use of the studio if you're not a full-time artist. Well, what we have in mind is we think the studio is going to appeal to 2 different kinds of individuals. We think, first of all, as I've heard you say many times, Doc, it's never too late to really explore creative arts.
Absolutely.
It's never too early or too late. And digital arts is absolutely no exception. And so we think this communal studio space will be perfect for those that always kind of wanted to try professional photography or videography, but maybe lacks the training or the resources to purchase all the equipment and software that would require. And then we also want to promote excellence in the digital arts. So we wanted to set up this communal studio space so it would also meet the needs of existing digital arts professionals who want to continue learning and exploring and creating, and pretty much use the studio space as sort of an incubator of creativity.
Jackie, would you have mentors working with people?
Well, we're hoping that that's going to be a natural outcome. We're going to really do everything we can to encourage that kind of peer support. For example, I'm going to be offering ongoing programming. It won't be instructor-led classrooms, but it will be online learning that has, we've taken a look at, make sure it's high quality. And have description in terms of what level, but also do things like photography walks in the area with professional photographers or perhaps intermediate photographers. We're going to be doing peer review so that you're getting positive and constructive feedback on your creative projects while they're happening.
You know,
we're going to.
That's an important thing for people to know, where you can have a place that you can go where it's safe to present your material, and it's going to be with your peers, and you're not going to feel like you're going to get beat up, right?
Well, I won't let that happen. I mean, the number one rule in a peer review situation is you take a look at something, and the rule is offer all the positive feedback that you care to share, and maybe one and only one thing to work on. I mean, so it isn't so overwhelming, and we're all going to check our egos at the door and really be open to learning.
Wait a minute, you didn't tell me I had to check my ego at the door.
Sorry, Rick.
Jeez.
Who's going to be in charge of that?
Yeah. Who's in charge of checking my ego?
Well, you know, honestly, though, in terms of learning something new like digital arts, you don't have to be super young. You don't have to be really very experienced in computers, but you have to be willing to kind of be crummy at it in the beginning. And that does mean sort of checking your ego in the beginning. And then before you know it, this stuff is easier than you can believe.
There are so many people that I think, and you alluded to it a little bit ago, that have tried this maybe in college or high school. They raise their families, their work is now behind them, and they still have the creative juices to do some really good stuff. I mean,
oh, they absolutely do.
I'm seeing this with fellow musicians, you know. So I mean, there's just so much more to offer, isn't there?
There really is, and it's the interesting thing about all this to me is that people are interested in different aspects. So, for example, let's talk photography. You may have folks that have a pretty good camera right now, but they're keeping it on the automatic mode. Okay, they take some nice renderings. They maybe have a good eye for composition, but I'd like to see them take it off the automatic mode, learn about some of the other tools that are available to them on that camera by putting it on manual, and we can support that with online learning and with some peer review and showing that others are working on. I think it's going to be very exciting, and I'm looking forward to working with my peers on this.
Like taking off the training wheels, huh?
There you go.
Well, my dad would have loved this. He was such a photo bug, shutter bug. He just took thousands of pictures, and I know the crew here, they're really into photography, so I'm hoping they participate. One of the things, the byproducts of this is I think you save people a lot of money, too. Don't buy that, don't buy this, buy this. This is where you want to go,
Oh, gosh. I've been doing digital photography for about 10 years, and if I could go back, and if I'd had something like this, I would have not made such stupid purchases. So you're going to have an opportunity. We're going to have very high level cameras. We're using a Canon 80D and 70D. We're going to have very nice lenses for folks to try, tripods, professional lighting for photography and videography. So you can really try things out and see, number one, is this for me? And really, where is my interest? Maybe my interest really isn't taking myself off the automatic mode on camera. Maybe I'm really more interested in what can I do with these photographs after I've taken them. And we're going to be able to do post-production using all of the Adobe softwares which will be available, meaning Photoshop, Lightroom, all kinds of, there's about 50 different applications actually from Adobe that folks will be able to use. This is hands-on using our equipment or bringing your own equipment into the studio and just getting to know it a little bit better.
People might be thinking right now, what's this going to, is it going to be cost? Is it going to be like a tuition-based thing? How's this going to work, Jackie?
So this is, so our concept right now is that this is going to be a benefit for members of Lakeshore Center for the Arts. Membership in Lakeshore Center for the Arts is currently $35 a year or $50 for a family. And in addition to that, for the Innovation Studio, we will be hosting open houses for the communities in general to come in and take a look and maybe dabble a little bit. So we'll do that periodically throughout the year as well. But the learning will be, at least to begin with, completely free. And we're going to focus on our resources online. There's some fabulous courses online. I've been busy pulling together learning paths for folks that are maybe beginning photographers or intermediate, advanced, also for videographers, for website development as well. And what I have found, because in a former life I was a director of training and development where I needed to introduce multimedia digital arts, primarily to, frankly, older adults who really were afraid maybe they couldn't do it. I've seen it, how empowering it is for folks, and it's easier than they think. But what it means is they've got to be highly interested, okay, and it needs to be available. So the fact that you can do it 24/7, either at the studio or in some cases for members, we're going to allow folks to take some of the equipment outside of the studio.
Okay, I have a question for Rick. How's that? Where's this going to be? And, tell me about the actual physical location of this
Well, just recently, for a long time, we were on the upper level, only half of the upper level at the Presbyterian Church in their annex building. And recently, we've taken over the entire top floor, and that has given us the ability to add a number of different programs, the Innovation Studio being one of those. We're also adding a theatrical library, a green room, a shop for building costume storage, etc. And the Innovation Lab is one of those, and probably one of the key ones that is going in. I mention all those simply because Lakeshore Center for the Arts is not, well, it is. It's a community theater, but it's a whole heck of a lot more than a community theater. It's truly a compilation of all the arts and all the capabilities to create artistically through every means available. And that's why I am so excited about the Innovation Studio taking off, because it gives us the most recent innovative ways of creating art.
Okay.
And storing it.
Now I'm going to ask the same question to both of you. So here we go. Why Westfield? Why this project now? Where'd it come from? Why?
Because we're here.
I mean, whose brainchild was this? I mean, where'd it come from?
This brainchild is Jackie's brainchild. This
Yeah,
is hers.
This is something that I just see as an absolutely perfect fit with our current offerings at Lakeshore Center for the Arts. Actually, it's dual purpose. Not only are we going to be able to offer digital arts programming for beginners up to experts, But really, for those that are beginners or intermediate trying to learn, let's say, graphic arts or web development, they may want to take on a project which will benefit the art center itself. So maybe they want to try to do a 1-minute promotion of the upcoming play so that we can promote it on Facebook and that they're also learning how to do it. So it's just a perfect fit. And also because I lived this in the city of Cambridge, offering it to police officers, firefighters, street cleaners, executives, multimedia training in all of these 4 areas, and I saw how they were unleashed to tell their stories to the city of Cambridge. And it's very exciting to see what people can do, and they surprise themselves, which is so much fun for me when I see it happen.
Great. Rick, did you want to add to that?
I'm just excited about the various opportunities it's going to make available. People need to realize something. This lab is going to give access to programs, to technical equipment that unless you are a wealthy person that could afford all this on your own, you'd only be able to get it at maybe University of Buffalo. Major universities will have labs like this, but we're going to have it in Westfield, New York, and you can come in and you can use it. You just need to be a member of Lakeshore Center for the Arts.
$35.
$35.
What a deal. Now, again, I know my listeners, my viewers. Jeff's telling me what a bargain it is on my phone here, or my earpiece here.
Jeff knows.
Jeff knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. A small business, they want to promote themselves. They could come in and kind of do a commercial.
They can come in and do a commercial. For businesses, our thoughts are, well, first of all, you can also be a business member of Lakeshore Center for the Arts. But if you just want to come in and rent space, you can come in and rent space to do video productions too.
Rent,
we have,
mean rent space? You mean rent the studio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, without becoming a member.
All right.
Of course,
So-
we'd rather have you become a member.
But then you'd have to have somebody on the other side of the camera to do all the digital work and stuff like that. So,
Yes.
So this would be somebody that has small business, and there's so many of them in Chautauqua County. And I'm thinking about right now how they're struggling. If they could get their message out, that could help with this recovery, right?
Absolutely.
And so,
Well,
go ahead. Yeah, Jackie, go ahead.
Well, I guess I would also begin to encourage small business owners in particular to not be afraid to develop some of these skills themselves or at least in-house. Web development is not that hard anymore. It used to be. It's not that difficult. It's very empowering once you've built something to be able to update it and keep it relevant and tell your story. And then on top of that, gosh, you get a few skills around videography and you can do, 30-second promotions about a new product or service that you want to be offering and create some excitement. So I really would encourage them to actually believe in themselves, that they actually can do this themselves. And that costs $0.
Yeah, let me go in a different direction. All right, we are just overloaded with unbelievable talent when it comes to music.
Yeah.
Can a musician come in and cut an album?
Heck yeah. It
Cut
would,
their own video.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This Adobe program gives you the capabilities to do all that and more. It's kind of like endless, the possibilities that you could do with this. It's exciting. It's real exciting. I told you before we started, I see this studio dovetailing with this studio and the brains in there and these guys all working
Who
together.
are you talking about?
I'm talking about your organization. I think we have a lot of possibilities of things that we could do together.
Well, we were talking earlier with the foundation ladies about merging resources in that. Well, there's no sense in developing a TV studio when we have a TV studio if you wanted to do some work. And I'm sure that somewhere or another we could work it out as long as it meets the criteria and follows the rules, with the studio here being a public servant type thing, public access.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, but I don't.
I'm all for
I
it.
don't speak for the studio, but I speak for my show. But I know that people don't realize this studio itself is a resource that they can use if they chose to. So I think it could be a beginning of a beautiful relationship, Rick.
And for those of you that haven't been in this studio, if you haven't been here or thought about utilizing it, you got a little gold mine right here in Chautauqua County that these guys have really done an amazing job putting together. But they got competition now.
What channel are you on? How many followers do you have? Are you being seen in Burma? Okay, Jackie, back to you. I know we have a bunch of slides that you might want to reference, so go
We
ahead.
might want to skip over some of them at this point, but I do want to make one other pitch, I guess, for the Innovation Studio. Here's the other benefit that folks may not be thinking of, which is, listen, we want to create this sort of incubator of creativity, and better storytelling tools by offering this digital arts studio, okay? But we also believe that folks that do take that journey and begin to learn how to use these tools are also developing very, very desirable job skills that are in very high demand. I'm a former HR executive, and I can tell you that you've got that on your resume, that you understand and are proficient in Adobe Photoshop or Premiere Pro, Lightroom, and it really captures people's interest. Why? Because they don't often have a lot of talent in-house that has it. And every business today needs a web page or videography to tell their story a little bit better, certainly solid graphic arts. So, and may not be in a position to pay an ad agency, probably aren't. So that's the other thing. We're going to be offering certificates if folks have done the entire paths that we're developing for them. We're going to help them develop their own portfolios should they want to do that, which can then be placed online, which is also very good for their jobs. We're here as an arts community, but we're also realists, and it's nice to keep your skills up to date.
Excellent. I can't believe you just said what you just said, because that was my next question was, being a school superintendent, I would get applications for teachers in the arts and things like that. I actually supervised the graphic arts program when I was associated at the youth center, and people, they like to blow smoke at you all the time, but if they had a certificate in hand, a portfolio, a video portfolio, that'd be perfect. That's pretty good. Jackie, are you working in relationship, or Rick, in conjunction with another organization as you're working with this, besides us?
As I mentioned, we work with Chautauqua, with Diane's group as far as funding and things are concerned.
But I meant as far as production and things of this nature, the Chamber of Commerce, any of those groups?
We will be.
Okay.
We're still a baby. This program is still a baby. Our organization isn't a baby. We're caught up in the insanity of the moment, not being able to get things done we need to get done because of COVID.
Right.
So.
And speaking of the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation, 60% of the initial startup costs have been funded by that wonderful group. Very generous grant. They saw our vision, and we're just so grateful.
That's the beauty, and I say this all the time on this show, there's so much good stuff going on in our county. And I'm just so pleased to be able to showcase that here on the show.
And that group in particular is just a mainstay of Chautauqua County.
They get it.
Oh my goodness, they get it. Yeah, they really do. Diane Hannum and her group and what's her name? Tori.
You're getting
I mean, that's I don't know where they find the money they get, but they are certainly
It's
a
from
help
you
to
and me.
developing.
It's from all of us.
Yeah.
That's how a community foundation works. So I'll give them a little plug. If you don't know anything about community foundations, I've had both Tori and Diane on the show over the years, and it's through our generosity, it's through our bequests when we pass on, or large donations, whatever. That money generates interest every year, and it's from that interest from the principal, because the principal's never spent, that generates the ability for them to disseminate money to special projects like yours.
Right.
Playgrounds and food banks.
And their grant has allowed us to hit the ground running. I just want to sort of list the equipment that will be available on day one of our grand opening in the studio, if I may.
Oh, absolutely. Let's have it.
Okay. So we're going to be offering, with that grant, we're able to purchase 2 state-of-the-art computers with optimal specs, which are really, really needed for graphic applications like video editing, for example. They will be staying on site, and we're going to be looking to begin our own fundraising so that we can incrementally add additional computers. Probably going to be opening with some social distancing and some other things that we need to do to keep the studio a safe communal place. But we're looking ultimately to add 6 more of those computers. We're going to offer the complete Adobe Creative Suite, which is pretty expensive. It's a subscription service. And that will be available on all of our computers as well as Microsoft Office. We're going to have professional studio lighting for photography and also for videography. There are different light setups. So you'll be able to do like a 3-point light setup if you want to. We're going to have audio equipment. And as I said, we're going to be, we will have DSLR cameras and lenses, tripods, and so forth. The self-directed learning programs will be online. You're going to be able to be invited. You'll see monthly to come in if you want to do it with a group of people, but I also will be able to forward links to the online learning for those that would prefer to do it at home. The advantage to coming into the studio is that you've also got the software there if you're learning about that. And you've also got the studio to try things. And then we're going to, as I said, emphasize the peer support with the photography walks, guest speakers, maybe workshops, portfolio reviews, and other events as well. I am so looking forward to this. I personally know I'm going to benefit. I'm very, very excited. And I don't know if, I see you've got the slide up of what I was just talking about. Mm-hmm. There's also a slide there that will show you a mock-up of what the studio is going to look like. The graphic, if you want to pull that up, it's a flexible space. Mm-hmm. And in the back is the studio setup that will remain a setup.
Okay, it's up now. We have it up. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. You'll be able to very quickly change that from a videography setup to a photography setup. So there's plenty of space to do that. And then we'll have a flexible space in front. I've got one setup shown here, but it can also be broken down extremely easily and moved around. In some photography shoots, for example, you want to be able to shoot from way back. So it will be very flexible. And the work that we've done to date, here's where we are. We have paused some of the work because of the pandemic, but we have been working hard behind the scenes. As a result of our generous grant from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation, we have we finished actually conducting dozens of interviews with the multimedia known experts. I went to New York to a conference, and I visited a number of different studios to really understand what is the equipment that we should. I wanted to spend that money and get state-of-the-art, but make sure that we have a full offering. So armed with that information, we purchased much of the equipment that we need. The studio itself has been painted. The electrical receptacles have been updated. There's a motorized background, so we'll be able to do green screen. There's a black background, white background. We'll be adding to that, but that's pretty good to begin with. And we've also, got some communication tools that are developed. When things open up for us in May, where we can, begin to go back into the studio, and we're sort of waiting to hear from the experts when that will happen. We'll be advertising an opportunity for interested folks to attend an information session there. And I want to do do an information session, but we'll also be surfacing a date for a focus group where I can ask folks that are interested a number of questions and get a better understanding, at least to start. Well, what days of the week are best? What times of the day? Are we talking about, mostly beginner programs? I want to try to meet the needs as closely as we can, and we can adjust as we go on. We're going to announce some fundraising opportunities. I've mentioned that anything that folks are able to do is very helpful. In addition, perhaps your family or your business might be looking for a legacy opportunity, so that there's an opportunity to perhaps name the studio. If we can talk about a gift which will accomplish the purchase of the 6 laptops and also provide them a naming opportunity for the Innovation Studio. More about that later. And then we'll complete our equipment purchases. By June, we'll be installing and testing the studio components, hold that focus group to make sure that we've got a schedule that's going to make sense, make sure we've got enough coverage for studio administrators. They're not going to be teaching people, but they're going to be encouraging. They're going to make sure that the equipment, is ready to go at any moment, and then they're supervised the first come, first serve, the way that we're going to do it. And then announcing the grand opening event, which will be sometime this summer, but I think we need to take our leads from the community leaders as to when that can be.
Sounds awesome. Rick, anything you want to add to any of that right now?
I'm just really excited. And before we started this, I always wanted our organization to be responsible for hosting and carrying out a film festival. Well, now we have the means to do our own film. I really would like to do a Westfield or Chautauqua County or a regional film festival that we could start work with this. Plus another idea that I'm going to come back and see you later. I'm not going to start talking.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on, give us a teaser, Rick.
This is how it always starts.
Here, let me give you the name of it first.
Don't let the nose of the camel get into the tent.
Lakeshore Center for the Arts. Here it is.
Okay.
Coming soon, the amazing Lakeshore Center for the Arts, stupendous, breathtaking, and poignant time machine. And it'll all be done within the confines of the studio.
I'm in.
The Innovation Studio. You see, it's already stoking creative ideas.
There you go.
All right. We've got about 2.5 minutes left. So let's wrap up the discussion on the Innovation Lab, and then I know you have some other things you want to share real quick. So Jackie, I'll give you a last word on that. Anything you want to share?
Honestly, I just want to express my gratitude to Rick, to all of our membership at Lakeshore Center for the Arts, again, the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation, and our wonderful community of creative people. You're so right, Doc. It's wildly creative musically, but in all ways, I find that this community is deserving of a place to go and leverage the creativity that's already there.
Great.
And elevate it almost is what I'm hoping.
All right.
And I'm really excited. I know I'll be spending a lot of time in that studio, so I'm looking forward to the camaraderie.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in from Cambridge, Massachusetts. That's a first
Hope
for
to
us.
see you guys soon.
All right.
See you, Jackie.
All right. And Rick,
Bye.
I'll take the garbage out. No, you don't have any garbage. You haven't been there. You don't have to take any garbage
got
out.
about 1.5 minutes left. How about anything that you propose other than your time machine?
Well, you asked why this all happened here.
Mm-hmm.
It's because there's a need for it. There's obviously a need for it because we have so many people coming to do what we need to do. We want you to support us. We would like you to come do the things that we have available, and you especially, Jock, because you're always fun to do stuff with. But
throw me in the air and see what happens. Yeah.
we don't want to be just a local community theater. We want to be a fine arts center for the county.
Mm-hmm. All right. And if someone has has questions, Rick, how do they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of us. Let me get my phone number out here. The phone number actually, the easiest way to get a hold of us is to email us at lscfta@gmail. We get those messages. We also have a Facebook page. We also have a phone number, which is 716-224-2135. And you can get a hold of us there.
Well, Rick, thank you for joining us today and sharing this cool project. Jackie Phillips over in Cambridge, Massachusetts, thanks for calling in. Our ladies from the foundations, thanks for joining us. It's been a busy show. Thanks, Jeff, for keeping up on all the pictures and that.
Good work, Jeff.
I'm Doc Hamels. Happy May, everybody. Stay in there. Wear your mask. We're doing a good job in the county as best we can. And we'll see you all again right here on Chautauqua Sunrise on Access Chautauqua Channel 1301 on Spectrum. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. I got to leave for you.
But